The final dish is actually my favorite dish for the evening because it's really gonna make the Blue Label jump. It's gonna make the entire evening experience come to a climax. Okay, so I want to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about the chocolate. How many of you actually like chocolate? Oh, that's not many of you. Hey, hello, India. Like chocolate? Don't like chocolate? Thank you. I think we need to make a note. Next time to break them up, cannot sit together. You think they don't talk? You can't shut them up. You see?
You're drunk.
That's since you edit. So, the chocolate tonight, I think it's something that I'm quite proud of from our country. Because not only this is actually from the national forest itself, from Taman it's actually planted and harvested in Taman okay, by a tribe known as Semai. How many of you have heard of this tribe of people? That's good. When we started looking into chocolate, I always knew that Malaysia had really good chocolate, but I did not know that we had chocolate that is really world standard. And the complexity of Blue Label cannot be expressed with just one single cocoa itself. I had to actually blend. So select two different types of cocoa to give it the fullest expression possible. The Semai, which is very earthy, very savory, very stone-like. You can really taste the earth. Or the French word for it is terroir. Okay. The Batang Kali is my second selection, which is slightly smoky, but very berrylicious. And both together gives you an extremely sensual texture and richness in the mouth. But having the chocolate on its own is not great. It was good, but it was just not great. But having it together with the Blue Label is just simply sensational. So, and this is the first time ever that I've broken my own rule in making dessert. Everyone says dessert has to be sweet. And I'm a firm believer in not using sugar. But this is the first time I introduced sugar to the chocolate, to the dessert. Simply because we wanted to create that nice balance. If you recall from your first dish all the way to now, we have gone through very, how should I say, off the road kind of tasting, right? Sour, bitter, savory or umami. And now, we're going to have a combination of all of the above in a singular plate, but in the form of a dessert. Okay? How am I going to achieve this? So we're going to have that bitterness from the cocoa. We're going to have savoriness from the coconut. Okay? The Batang Kali itself is quite savory. We're also going to have this beautiful sweetness, very light, not strong, light sweetness from the meringue. And the meringue itself will introduce coconut as well. Okay? And last but not least, to give you more texture, more, how shall I say, nuttiness to the whole composition of the dessert is Job's Tear. Job's Tear is also an heirloom grain in our forest. How many of you have actually tasted Job's Tear? Job's Tear is meant to be even more healthy than the quinoa itself. Okay? The Thai has actually been using Job's Tears for the longest time in making dessert. And I only discovered the jobs tier not long ago when I started looking into doing the curation for Blue Label. So what we did was we cooked the jobs tier, we dry it, and we puff it. It's a grain, if you're curious, okay? So when you receive your dessert, what I'd like you to do is to break it up, as in I know it looks nice, but just break it up and eat it every mouthful with a bit of everything. And last but not least, to bring the dessert together, we have this, you know, the Italian fingers pastry, the little cookie, what they use for tiramisu. Okay, we actually soak that in Blue Label. Yes. So, without further ado, please enjoy your dessert. Thank you.